Well, I think there are two parts to it, right? The first is that even though we're talking about something historical, right? Something that happened to women in the past who were vulnerable in a very particular way, especially related to things like finances, and social expectations about around being married, right? And all of that pressure, which frankly still exists today, right? Which is actually the point I'm headed to, right? Despite the fact that these women are vulnerable in this particular social setting, what they're facing and what they're dealing with is still relevant today, and still very relevant, right? Gendered violence remains an issue. Intimate partner violence remains an issue. And I am using violence in the sense of not just physical, right, but emotional, and financial, right? When we think about the power and control, those questions, power and control wheel, which is something we used to talk about domestic violence specifically, right? These things operated in a specific way in 1915, which is about when the play is set, but they are also still operating today, albeit sometimes in different ways. And the contemporary resonances are frankly profound. You recognize yourself even from a century away, right? You recognize the dynamics, you recognize the emotion, you recognize the impact of trauma. But the hopeful piece of this play is that you recognize the power of taking control of your own story, of understanding what happened to you, right? Of being able to put the pieces together and what it means, right? To integrate your experiences with who you want to become, who you want to be. Now, granted, these women have to do it posthumously, right? They have been killed, but the value of going through that with them, and frankly, the value for the actresses and for myself, just speaking from being in rehearsals, is it's for us now to recognize the resonances with our own personal stories, right, as related to these true stories, and what that means for us as women today, 2021. What choices can we make, right, around how we tell our stories and how we take ownership of it, and what can that mean for us moving forward and standing in our strength. I hope that they walk away having moved through something profound that they relate to, and then walk away really thinking about their own stories, right? And how they can use their own stories for their own healing, right? And part of that process is allowing yourself to make meaning out of what's happened to you. So I hope that sort of sets off a spark, right? No one show is going to change the whole world, but stories can set off little sparks in our head that set us on a path, and that's what I'm hoping for. I'm I say two things. One, like read it, right? And then find someone who's doing it, and let your passion for that project come through, right? So who's directing something, right? And find, like, let your passion for what you want to do come through, and find a way to collaborate and have them support you, right? And help move you into a position to make it happen. But I think the most important thing is not being afraid to show your enthusiasm for a project. You know, like, I think there's sometimes we're like, oh, you gotta be cool about this, gotta be chill, but I don't have any space for chill anymore. You know, like I can't be cool about things, and I find that I really love people who aren't cool about things, who are just really excited. So I think letting that shine through is sort of the best way to break into whatever you want to do.